What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and welcome to another new WandsDay. It is February 2024. I have, I think, 7 wands today. I was gonna have a few more, but they were taking me a little bit too long to complete, so those are gonna get pushed into the following week. Or the following month, probably next month. I'll probably have another batch next month. Right now, the plan is to have one batch come out pretty much every month. And yeah, so there may be 10, there may be 5, there may be 3. It really all depends on how I did that month, how much time I've had to make stuff. So there are still a few up on the shop as well. If you guys want to check out any of these wands or any future wands or any of the wands from the past that I've made, the ones that are still available are up on the shop at enderswands.com. And let's get into these. There is one on here that I'm still debating if I'm gonna put up, and I don't think I've shown you guys. I think I've only shown it to you guys in maybe I've shown it to a few of you. I don't know who I've shown it to yet, but yeah, so there's one. I'm going to save it for last, obviously. That's what I always do. I always save my favorite one for last. This one I actually made a while ago. I was thinking about keeping it, and then I made another one that I kind of like just as much. So I'm thinking about keeping that one, maybe putting this one up. I don't know. I feel like I've talked already a lot right now. You guys probably want to see the wands. So I'm going to start off with the simplest, most elegant, I guess, design first, and then we'll work our way up from there. I think it came out pretty nice. It's made out of cedar. Sadly, though, it doesn't have the cedar smell anymore because it was, I did clear it. There is a clear coat on it to protect it and to make it, give it that nice smooth feeling. And yeah, it came out pretty nice. There's actually 2 spirals here, one on each side, basically. So on opposite sides, they both start and then they twist all the way around. And that's really the only way to get like this type, unless you made it really, really tight where you kept going. But then the problem with that is that you would have one that starts on one side and then either ends on the other side or ends on the same side. You couldn't have them be equal on both sides. And then we got this nice little hook right here. I try to make it like as even as possible to give it as much of like a kind of like a uniform look, but at the same time, very organic. We got the little dip and then the little lift at the end, right? So I think it came out pretty nice. You can pretty much hold it whatever way. I would probably hold it this way, just the way that it feels right. There's one other wand in this one that I feel like it doesn't really matter. You could hold it this way or this way. They both kind of feel a little weird, but it is one of those like wands that's like just kind of weird. It's just like, it really is like a weird thing that goes and happens, and it you know what? Let's just jump right into that one. I wouldn't say that this one is the simplest or the second simplest, because that's kind of how I usually start with like the easiest all the way up to the hardest, or the one that I like the most, which isn't always the hardest one to make. But this one is kind of like a similar shape, as you can see, right? Similar shape, but this right here really throws it off. And I would say it could be held this way, but it could also be held this way. It kind of looks like a broom a little bit as well. Like you could totally sit right here, you know, hold on to the broom here. Definitely has a broom look to it. But there also are, this is Purple Heart, obviously. There's also a lot of little nooks and crannies right here. And then the blade is kind of, for the most part, solid black. There are a couple spots where I sanded it down just to kind of give it a little bit more, I don't know, more of a weathered look, I guess you can say. And then we have this carved out pommel here. This one originally was going to actually have a different design here, and it just didn't work out. So then I cut it off and then started carving it all out, and then gave it all these nasty carves and grooves and weird stuff. By the way, when you see all the wands at the end of this video, make sure to let me know which one was your favorite. I always like to know like what people gravitate toward, so that I just have a feel for what people like, what sticks and doesn't, I guess you could say. So while we are in the Purple Heart heartness feel, the Purple Heart whatever. Let's talk about this guy here. So this one, super simple, right? We got a little bit of white right here. This side, very straight. We just got this little cutout right here. But then this little cutout wraps all the way around, and it's not like some people thought it was like an insert when I showed them. Like they thought that something was like, I guess popping out, but it's actually like a groove that goes all the way down it, cuts out, and then slides down here. And then we have a little bit of white at the end just to kind of give it a little bit of a cohesion throughout the entire wand. Sometimes what I'll do with Purple Heart, I'll add a little bit more purple to it, or a little bit of silver, or a little bit of like a blue, just to kind of give it like some sort of I guess difference, or just something to make it pop a little bit more, right? But with this one, I kept it super bare. I kept it very simple, and just the classic, the original color of the Purple Heart, which is beautiful in its own way, but sometimes I want a little bit more. I don't want it to just be the base purple. The next one, another Purple Heart. So we got 3 Purple Hearts in this one. And this one is a holy wand. So if you don't like holy wands, you're warned. I think this guy looks pretty cool. It has the thing I always do, or I do often, where I do a little bit of dry brushing on the on this section here. I kept the holes pretty far apart from each other. I didn't go like super overlapping with the holes. I do that more often than I don't. In this situation, I kept it a little bit apart, so it's more like almost like a golf ball type look to it. But then there's a very harsh straight line here. Again, classic, just straight purple. We didn't do any sort of anything. No colors, no modifications, no filters to this Purple Heart. It's just nice semi-gloss finish on it. This one has a little bit more of a further down, I guess, balance point. So it kind of balances right there. So if you hold it here, it's kind of end heavy, because this is somewhat hollow, right? There's a lot of holes that go all the way through on the handle there, but it feels very grippy too. It's kind of weird, but then it is very, very top heavy, blade heavy, I guess you could say. Do we want this one or this one? Okay, I think we're gonna go with this one. So this guy actually did not start this way. It was going to be, and I think you guys may have seen this one. It kind of was shaped like a banana a little bit, because it was just the yellow. You may have seen it in another video where I maybe showed it off, and it looked extremely different than this. But here's what happened to this one. Originally, it didn't have this this pommel here, this part of the handle, and it didn't have the little brass connections between them to kind of give it that like floating look. Didn't have that. That was a later on addition to it. And basically what it was just straight. There was another one of these balls right here, and then it kind of went off, tapered, and kind of gave it there was like a little bit of like a tilt up at the end. But what happened was, I'm sanding, doing some stuff, had the dust collector right next to me, the hose, like up on my lap, like right here, so I can sand, sucks all the dust down. And I like had the dust collector up against something, and I had the wand. So let's say the wand is here, the dust collector hose is right here, and it just sucked it in. And then I was like, what was that noise? And I heard a dunk, and I was just like, oh no, did something just get sucked in? Oh no, where's the wand? Literally, I was working on this wand, so it got sucked into the dust collector. So I take off the hose. I see this sticking out like this, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, it didn't get sucked all the way in. Perfect. It got caught by the grate, the little grill there. But I was wrong. It actually got caught by the impeller, so the fan blade, and it chopped off the end of it. So I was like, that kind of looks cool. And then I remember I had this from another wand that broke, and it was longer. And so therefore I chopped that off, chopped this off, try to make them as even as possible. And then I was just like, I was going to glue them together. And I was just like, it's a cooler idea if I do this. And I had some little brass pieces, so that is what I did. I think this guy came out pretty cool. And a lot of times, in my opinion, like when you're creating something, it's not about like getting it right the first time or getting it right at all. It's being able to adapt and change your design to make it work. I like to draw stuff because it gives me an idea, it gives me a starting point, but I almost never stick to it 100%. I'd say almost pretty much almost never I stick to it. I pretty much 99% of the time. And if I ever try to stick to it, I'm never really 100% happy. So if you guys are creators out there, just keep that in mind, because a lot of times, obviously, if you're creating something for someone, that's probably another reason I don't like to do commission work, because I don't trust that you actually know what you want as like a customer, I guess. So I just like to make things that I like, and if you like it, then that's great. If you don't, no hard feelings, you know. I've also been burned a couple of times where I try to make something for somebody. I do exactly what they say, and they're like, "Oh, actually, I don't like that. Can you change it to something else?" And it's just like, "Yeah, sure." So that doesn't work. And then they say something like, "Oh, I'm actually not gonna buy it right now. I have to wait till next month." And it's just like, oh, "Okay, cool. I also don't like to take money before I do the work. Before I do the work, because then I feel like I owe you something, or I owe the customer something. So I don't do that. So that's why I stopped doing that. But anyway, this guy's made out of Osage and mahogany. So I think it came out pretty cool. It's very unique. Now we got two more. This next one, I hope you guys like. It is very much Elder Wandy feel. You know, it has that Elder Wand feel to it. So I think it came out pretty good, if you ask me. Yeah, it's fun. It's white, but it's Paduke, but painted white with a little bit of it sanded off right here at the end, and then obviously the rings have it sanded off too. I think this came out pretty good. The white, I don't make white wands very often. I don't know if people just don't like them as much either. They don't always like sell and stuff right away. I definitely feel like something like this is something that has to find the right person, right? All of these wands really are. Pretty much all my wands are. I don't always mind if they don't sell right away, because I feel like someday the right person will come along and pick up the wand and really like it, and it'll connect with them, and they'll have that joy of like, oh man, it's like this was made for me. You just got to wait for the right person to find it. I guess that's kind of how I see it. You know, I still have probably 6 wands up on the shop right now. Let me actually check. Bing, bing, bing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, never mind. I'm a liar. 8. I got 8 wands in the shop right now. That's before these go up. So with these being 7, that would be 15, right? Did I do math good? Yes, 15. I'd have 15 wands up on the shop as of the release of this video. Also, speaking of which, there are actually a few wands that are up for sale right now. They've just been sitting there for a little bit, and I figured, even though I just talked about finding the right thing, sometimes the price is the wrong price, you know? So there are a few wands right now that are on sale, so go check that out. And yeah, there's 5 wands that are on sale right now. So good luck. Maybe your wand is waiting for you. Who knows? But let me know what you guys think. I occasionally will make a Elder Wand style of wand. Even I've only made a few that are Elder Wand styled, and this is my wand that is not going up for sale. Just to let you guys know, and you can see that it has that same general shape. I can be a little bit more delicate with mine because I know it's mine, so I'm not popping it up there, you know, it's not going to be smacked around and stuff. But yeah, hopefully this one finds a good home. But the last wand also kind of started off in the same vein as this Elder Wand style one. It was very much that kind of like the notches. Let me pull this up. It was very much like the notches, kind of like this. And then I had an idea, and I was just like, oh man, this is going to be so cool if I do this. And then I spent like the rest of the day working on this. And this is the one I was talking about that I may not actually put it up. I don't know. It's one of those that, like, if I do put it up, I'm probably going to put it up for more and nobody's going to want to buy it anyway. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just put it up for an amount that is more than the other ones. And then if nobody buys it, oh, well, I get to keep it for as long as nobody buys it. Yeah, I may do that. I really like this one. So there's a lot to it, and I'll explain to you guys right now. So this one is made out of Paduke as well. And I think it just came out super cool. So we have some copper wire here soldered together. And you can see underneath there's actually a little ball in there with the little holes cut out in them, the divots, you know, the little, kind of like how this one is. Yeah, it's pretty much like this. Yeah, so it has like this type of thing, but then it has the wire wrapped around it right here. So you can see that it's basically the same inside of there with the little balls. So I love this one so much. When I came in and I showed Meek this, she's like, "You're not selling that one, right?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I may not put it up, but I love it so much. It's so cool. It's so different. There's very few other wands that I've seen. And I actually saw, after I made this one, I actually saw Nemesis Gear made one, not similar to this, but one that did have a wire, like jewelry wire type thing. This is actually, I mean, technically it's jewelry wire. And because of all of the solder joints here, it kind of holds itself together and holds its structure. It's pretty strong. If you were to take something to it and hit it, it'll dent it. But you know, nobody's going to do that because that's crazy. Why would anybody do that? But man, I love this. I just love the organicness of it, and how it kind of wraps around and just gives it that, like, I don't even know how to describe this. Like, it almost reminds me of like a fingerprint or like some sort of vines kind of wrapping up, growing around and like through the center of the wand and then through the other opening here. And then it keeps going up and then it wraps around. That's how I like to think of it. I love this wand. So if you see it up in the shop and you see it up for, you know, a decent amount of money compared to the other wands, you guys know why. Yeah, so that's it. I got all the wands already. I got them. They're all right here. They're good. They're ready to go. This batch took me so much longer than so many of the other ones. I have a bunch of other things going on right now too, so it's kind of like putting me behind on a lot of stuff. But yeah, these are the seven wands. And yeah, that's it, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you want me to make some more wands, make sure to subscribe to the video, like the video if you liked it, and leave a comment. Let me know if I should even sell that wand. I'm sure some of you guys are going to be like, "Nah, just keep it." But yeah, I don't know. I kind of want. I mean, like I said, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. So if you really want it, you understand. You understand. But cool. All right. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you want to check out the wands, they're at New WandsDay. Nope. EndersWands.com. New WandsDay, though, if you do want to submit some wands for review, where I'll do a video and talk about them and stuff, you probably already know about it, but it's at Cat wants to get out of here. See, I'm taking too long. At newwandsday@gmail.com, 16:9. Send as many photos as you want. And I'll check them out and I'll make a video about them. I already got a few piling up. So that should be coming out hopefully in the next couple weeks. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.